Hey, welcome back to the Alliance Tournament. I am CCP Rise. With me, CCP Fozzie. We're about to watch Choke Point versus Jihad Squad, and you saw camera 1 and camera 2 both looking at Dominic's.
Surprise! Yes, we do have a Dami mirror match, which actually they've been pretty decent. Like the matches have been.
Yeah, I
generally
was
pretty good
saying,
with the
I was
Dami
saying
mirrors.
beforehand, like Dami versus non-Dami setups has been much less interesting than Dami mirrors. The Dominic's mirror matches have brought us such thrillers as the MJD Dami mirror early, where all kinds of weird stuff happened. So I'm not actually disappointed with this at all.
So Jihad Squad has brought out the triple Damis as usual, and then a lot of Damps. Well, actually, no, so not as much. 2 Maulises, but then they've got 3 Algos the Dragoon to do some extra damage. They've got a Damnation, which gives them a much bigger tank. You can see our little bars there beneath the names for each team. Jihad Squad's defense bar is much, much larger. So that's going to be, a lot of it is from the Damnation. They're giving the bonuses. You're probably going to have bonuses from the Myrmidon as well on Choke Point, but not as big.
Yep, and the choke point control bar is much bigger because of the damps. If you guys aren't familiar with that, those bar stats, the control bar kind of is a consolidation of a whole bunch of different things that contribute to what we categorize as control. It includes ECM, dampening, I think even neutralizing, tracking disruption, all that stuff is all wrapped up in that bar. So it's a little vague, but it definitely is an indication that there's a lot more E-war going on for choke point.
Yep, we've got curators launched for both sides. I'm hearing a little bit.
Yeah,
of
we're
popping
doing
for
something weird with the wires.
I don't know what's going on, but
Let's try to. Oh god.
curators down.
Oh god.
And they're going to be firing. They're trying to pick off some of the small stuff for Choke Point, and meanwhile, Choke Point is trying to hit the Guardian of Jihad Squad.
I'm just gonna not move at all.
Talking. I'm not hearing any. All right. Anyways, the Guardian for Jihad Squad is definitely holding on at the moment, but he probably won't be able to do too much longer. He's got some rep drones on him, I believe, and he is taking continuous fire now from those curators.
I'm going to check something on my headset. There's 64 continuous matches today. I don't feel bad about taking my headset off during a match.
All right, you go do that. I don't know which one of us is popping, but
I don't either.
meanwhile, at the moment, just nobody has died. Both sides are just trying to find weaknesses. They're prodding at the tanks of the other team, trying to see what they can get. And at the moment, nothing is really hitting or hurting too bad. The Algoses for Jihad Squad, one of them taking a ton of damage, and that's probably going to be that weak link. Yep, he's going to structure now. So that's Nordica there in the Algos. That's going to be some damage and possibly some damping off the field for Jihad Squad, and that's going to hurt Dragoon as well. Meanwhile, the Maulises and
All right.
Merlins doing a lot better in Vengeances for Choke Point, possibly because they've got significantly lower signatures and higher speeds.
Could also be I didn't see whether or not the Algos and Dragoon were able to get reps from the Guardian, but because of Choke Point's superior damp control, it's possible that he had a harder time getting reps to them, whereas if you see the Choke Point support is getting plenty of reps from the Choke Point Oneros.
ST Laws there didn't get any reps. I wish I didn't see any before he went down, so that's definitely going to be playing a significant part, I think.
And another Algos down for
And now
Jihad
I'm going to
Squad.
take off my headset.
Great. We'll get to the bottom of this by the end of this match. There's like hundreds of wires in here. It's probably CCP Dolan's fault. He came in here between matches. I don't know what he touched, but I'm sure it was something he shouldn't have. Wow, Guardian down for Jihad Squad. That happened super fast. Damage got switched over to that Guardian, and he dropped.
We saw a micro jump drive.
Did we?
Yes. We've got one of the Jihad guys, or 3 of the Jihad guys, have micro jump drive behind the Choke Point dummies and dropped guards. So they're going to have a
Awesome.
huge DPS advantage right now. However, Choke Point can probably, if they respond fast enough, drop either ogres or guards of their own. But we'll see if they do so. It's going to be a race for them to actually respond appropriately to this.
Yeah, they may end up just getting destroyed much faster by doing that.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I mean, they're definitely going to get a big damage advantage. It may just be a kind of last-ditch attempt, but we'll have to see.
Onero's taking damage. They're going to try and get him. They were able to kill a Maulus as well. It's kind of weird that a Maulus would even be taking damage. Maybe the Damnation was able to catch him. But all the Dami damage should be focused on something at the core of the Choke Point team, either their Dominixes or maybe their Oneros, if possible.
Yeah, Choke Point trying to take down that Aneros now, it looks like, but they don't have any target painters left. They don't have any webs on him, so they're not hitting him nearly as hard. And I think they're in trouble.
Where's the Choke Point Oneros at? Can you
The Choke Point Oneros
help me out with that?
is quite a ways away, off by himself.
Oh, you have them colored backwards on
I
there.
do have them colored backwards.
Oh, no!
But yes, he is currently just repping away to his heart's content.
Yeah, I was
And,
going to say, they
not
were
very
shooting at
worried.
him. He took a bunch of shield damage for a second right after they MJD'd, but I thought maybe he was close to the other dummies. I noticed there was cap transfer going on, and he could have been part of that, but
No, he's
that's the Jihad dummies cap transferring. So
yeah.
he is
And-
taking some damage now, that choke point of Neros, but at the same time, Jihad Squad dummy is entering structure and will be going down shortly.
So it's interesting that we saw Jihad Squad jump so close to the other side and drop guards. Do you think they just don't have any heavy drones?
You know, I was wondering that. There was a match earlier where the same thing happened. People ended up really close to Dominic's, and they never switched from the sentries. And I wonder if, because of the possibility that your sentries either get abandoned somewhere by MJDing or get killed somehow, that they're just sticking with all sentries. Since the damage difference isn't that big between them and the ogres, that it's just safer to have more in case you need them late in a match when you're far away from stuff. But
Yep, at the moment, they're still trying to work on this Aneros. I guess they wouldn't be able to hit the Aneros nearly as well because they couldn't chase it down. It would have been great if they were going after the dummies,
right.
but with the guards, they can keep sniping at the Aneros. However, the Aneros just casually running away. He doesn't care. And now he's far enough away from the guards that he won't be taking full damage from them at all.
And the second Dominix for Jihad Squad in the meantime is about to drop into structure. He's starting pretty bad. You can see the cap transfer running between the Jihad Squad dummies, and they are local repping. So, you know, it's at least possible that they can rep back damage.
But not enough.
But
in
there's
this
just
case,
no way under the amount of pressure they're under.
Yep.
So
Generally good use of MJDs in this case. They did allow them to possibly get the jump on their opponents, get in there with some higher damage sentries. But because of the fact that they'd already lost the Guardian at that point, they'd already lost their Maulises and their Destroyers, I think they were already too far behind.
yeah, definitely.
If they had those Destroyers webbing the Aneros when they did that and dropped the guards within range of him,
Right.
then he would have just fallen apart.
Right. If they would have been
he
able to
couldn't get
pin
out of
him down
range.
when they first got over there. The problem for them really was that they had already lost their own logistics. Like, they were so far behind. If that would have happened earlier in the match, maybe before they lost some of their support or before they lost their Guardian, it could have been a really big swing for them. But by the time it actually happened, I don't know if they had enough to make it pay off.
So we have the Dominix, last remaining Dominix for Jihad Squad is dropping through structure now. It's just going to be the Damnation left. And we will be seeing Jihad Squad out of this tournament. Choke Point moving on through the elimination bracket. For anyone that's just tuning in and missed earlier, all of the matches in the second half of today, which we're in right now, are do or die matches for these teams. Whoever loses is out of the tournament. By the end of this, we'll have 16 teams eliminated. And the rest will be moving on to next weekend.
Which is really cool. It's a really nice change. In the past, we've always done group stage-based tournaments where a lot of the matches were really great. It was kind of nice to see some rivalries develop in the groups, but we always ended up with a problem where there were matches that just plain didn't matter.
Yeah.
We had a lot of really silly stuff going on because it just didn't make any difference what happened because it was either at the bottom of the bracket or at the top of a bracket or of a group. And now we don't have that problem. And all these matches are pretty important. So
Yes. And you know what match I'm really excited to actually see?
which?
The next one.
What's the next one?
It's Hun Reloaded. So Hun Reloaded, one of the teams that we expect to do generally very well, came up against Darkside, another really excellent team yesterday, and lost. So they're in the losers bracket, but they are just the 800-pound gorilla of this losers bracket.
Yeah.
They're
They're
not
totally the perfect team to make a run through the 15-match losers bracket and
Yeah.
show up in the finals. That seems very Hun-ish.
They could do that. Outbreak, who's also in the losers bracket, could also do that. Those are two teams that you just don't want to come up against. And Noir Mercenary Group is going to be up against them next after this Damnation dies and we take a short break. And I really do not envy them. It's just a rough draw coming up. They knew they were going to be against either Darkside or Hun when they saw the actual brackets if they lost their first match, which they did. And so they're going to be in a really, really tight spot. It'll be interesting. I'm sure they're going to be pulling out their absolute best. Whatever these guys bring out has to be their best setup. I mean, if there's any time when you use your best thing that's working the best in your practices that has all of your most expensive stuff, it's going to be in a losers bracket match versus Hun Reloaded.
Yep. All right. Well, with that, Jihad Squad's final ship, that Damnation dies. Choke Point moves forward. Jihad Squad goes home. And we'll be back with you guys in just a minute with that match CCP Fozzie was just talking about.